Chapter 4.3 Multiplication and Division of Decimals. Okay, let's multiply two decimal numbers like this. So let us write this one vertically. So okay, and then align the second number to the right, 0.08. And then you just multiply as it is just a number. So 1 times 8 is 8, 6 times 8, 48. Right? Okay, and then this is important. Count the decimal places for the numbers. So the decimal places are 0, 6, 1. So there are 3 decimal places. Decimal. So always count the decimal places. And the second number has 0 and 8. So they are the places after the decimal. So there are 2 decimal places, right? And then the sum is, there are 5 decimal places. So the product of these 2 numbers will have 5 decimal places. So here is 8, 4, 8, 8. There are 3 of them, so we need 2 more decimal places. So that put the decimal here. So after the decimal, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5. So there are 5 decimal places. So this is the product of decimals. So always count the number of decimal places and then add it to the product. Okay, let's try a different example. Okay, for this example, you are multiplying a number decimal by 10 or 100. So this means multiplying a number by 10 means 10 is greater than 1. So the result, the product will be larger than the original number. So how large is it? Okay, if it is multiplied by 10, 10 means there's 1 0, right? 1 0. That means you can move 1 decimal to the right. Okay, move 1 decimal to the right because you want to make this 2.835 larger. How large? 1 decimal large. So the result will be 28.35. Okay, how about this one? Multiply this number by 100. Okay, 100 has 2 zeros, right? 2 zeros. So move the decimal 2 places to the right. 2 places to the right. So it will be 283.5. Can you see it? Because you are multiplying a number by a number which is larger than 1, greater than 1. So the result will be greater. So in that case, move the decimal point to the right so that the number will be greater. The original number will be greater. So if there's 1 0, then move 1 places to the right. And 2 zeros, then move 2 places to the right. Okay, so let's try another one. Okay, let's do the same thing. So I'm gonna multiply 2.835 by 1,000. Okay, then the result will be what? There are 3 zeros, so move this decimal point 3 places to the right because we want to make it larger, right? Larger. So it will be 2,835 points. So in this case, you don't need to put zeros after this one, right? Okay, simple, pretty simple. All right, and then this time let's check the product of 2 numbers with the same sign and different signs. So look at this. If we are multiplying 2 numbers with the same sign, then the result will be, the product will be positive, just like when you multiply whole numbers. And then if you multiply the numbers with different signs, then the result will be negative. So multiply these 2 numbers. So as you see these 2 numbers have the same sign, right? Same sign. So the result will be positive. The product will be the positive. So let's multiply this. So multiply 3.2 by 0.008. Okay, this one has 1 decimal place, and this one has 3 decimal places, right? So the sum is 5 decimal places. So just multiply two numbers, then 2 times 8 is 16, 1 up, 3 times 8, 24, plus 1 is 25. Okay, and then the result, the product must have 5 decimal places. So we have 3, so we need 2 more zeros so that you can put decimal points, right? So this is the result. Oh, sorry, there are 4, right? 4. There are 4 decimal places. Okay, so there are 3 places already, so put 1 more 0. And then put the decimal, right? So this is the product, 0.0256. And what is the sign of the product? The sign is positive, right? So we can write it this, same sign, right? Same sign. So the product is, the result of this product is what? Positive, right? So this is the answer. This is the product, and this will be positive. So if one of these two numbers is negative, then the result will be negative, right? Okay, now let's multiply these two decimals. So write in vertically, and this will be 0.052. So align it correctly. All right. And then the first decimal has how many decimal places in the first number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 decimal places. So write it down so that you don't forget to put the decimal point. And the second number has 3 decimal places. 3 decimal places. All right, then let's multiply this as it is whole number. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14. And on the next line, right below this 5 column, multiply 3 times 5, 15, 1 up. 3 times 7, 35, plus 1 is 36. And then the sum of these two result is 6. This is 9, 7, and 3. All right. So how many decimal places are here? So 5 plus 3 is 8. So the product must have 8 decimal places. So now we have 4 decimal or 4 numbers, so 4 digits. So we need 4 more, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more, and then put the decimal point. So this is the result of the product. All right, this time let's learn how to divide decimals. Okay, there are rules, so keep in mind these 3 rules. Okay, the first step is move the decimal point in the divisor to the right so that the divisor is a whole number. Okay, this means, okay, in here, okay, let's divide these numbers. 8. Okay, 0.83. So this number is called dividend. So this dividend is divided by 0.7, and this number is called divisor. So you can write in a long division like this: 0.86. Okay, divided by, we use this symbol, right? And then 0.7. Okay, so the first step is move the decimal point in the divisor to the right. So move decimal point move this decimal point to the right of the divisor. So we moved it one place to the right, right? One place to the right. So look at the number 2. Then move the decimal point in the dividend the same number of places to the right. So since we moved one place to the right, move the decimal point in the dividend one place to the right. Okay. So if the divisor has 2 places to the right, then also move 2 places to the right in the dividend. Okay, the third one is, okay, place the decimal point in the quotient part directly above the decimal point in the dividend. So this is the quotient part, right? This is the quotient part. So place the decimal point directly above the decimal point in the quotient. Simple, isn't it? So we just follow these 3 steps, and then divide the number as you would, with the whole numbers. Okay. So let's divide it. So now we have the divisor is 7, right? 7, because we moved the decimal point to the right. So 7. So we're going to divide this number by 7. So look at this. There is 8, right? 8 point, right? 8 point. So divide 8 by 7. So we have only 1, right? Only 1. So 1 times 7 is 7. And then subtract. Right? We do the subtraction, right? Subtraction. So 8 minus 7 is 1. And then bring this 6 down. Bring this 6 down. Right? And then divide 16 by 7. We still have decimal point, right? So we just write on the 10th. So 16 is divided by 7. So we have 2. Right? 2. So 7 times 2 is 14. And then subtract. So 2, right? 2. And 2 is less than 7. So we cannot divide it, but we can still keep going because decimal point has zeros at the end. Now, all the way zeros can be added as many times as possible. So bring this 0 down, then this will be 20, right? 20. So we can do one more time. Look at this. So we want to round it to the nearest tenth. Nearest tenth means what? If you have 1.2 something, so that means we have to check whether we can increase the 10th digit by 1 or leave it, right? So it depends on the next digit, 100th digit, right? So we need to find one more digit. So 20 divided by 7 is, how many you can get in? 2, right? 2. 3 is too much. 3 is 21, is too much. So 7 times 2 is 14. And then subtract. That will be 6, right? And then from this time, you don't have to go further because this is enough. Because we want to round it to the nearest tenth, the nearest tenth. So we need up to 100th, right? 100th digit. So this is enough. So from here, since 100th digit is less than 5, just leave it. So just leave the 10th digit. So the result will be 1.2, right? 1.2. So you can write it as this. Well, you can use equal sign, but actually it's not equal, right? It's approximately equal because it's 1.22 and so on. So we use approximately equal symbol like this. So this is an equal symbol and this is approximately equal. Not almost equal, not almost. All right, this is how we can divide decimals. So don't forget these 3 steps, okay? This is really simple step. And then once you follow this step, then divide it as you would with whole numbers. Okay, this time let's divide a decimal by a power of 10, which means 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, and so on. So if you're dividing a number by a number greater than 1, then the original number will be smaller, gets smaller, right? So in this case, we wanna divide this number 325.21 by 10. 10 is greater than 1, so the result will be smaller. So how smaller? Just count the number of zeros. So 10 has 1 0. 10 has 1 0. So move the decimal point to the left. This time move 1 decimal point to the left. So that is how the original number is becoming smaller. So the original number becomes smaller by moving the decimal point to the left. Because move the decimal point to the left, so the number will be smaller, right? If you move the decimal point to the right, then original number will be larger. But this time, since you are dividing by a big number greater than 1, so the original number will be decreased. So the result will be move the decimal point 1 to the left. So that will be 32 points, right? And then 5 to 1. So this one is 1 0. Okay, now let's divide the same number by 100. Then 100 has 2 zeros, right? 2 zeros. So move the decimal point 2 to the left, right? Move to the left. So the result will be 3.2521. Okay, let's try one more. So divide the same number by 1000. Then 1000 has 3 zeros, right? 3 zeros. So make the original number smaller. How much smaller? 3 decimal places smaller. So move 3 decimal places to the left. So it will be 0.32521. Simple, isn't it? Very simple. So when you divide a number greater than like a power of 10, then make the original number smaller. So move the decimal place, move the decimal point to the left, the same number of places. Okay, and when you multiply decimal number by a power of 10, then make it larger, right? Make it larger. So move the decimal point to the right. But this time we are dividing it, so move the decimal point to the left so that the original number will be smaller. All right, just like the product of two numbers, okay, the quotient of two numbers with the same sign is positive, and the quotient of two numbers with different signs is negative. This rule is same as product, right? Product. So let's divide these two numbers. And two numbers are what? Have different signs. So the signs are different signs. Different signs, right? So what's the result? What's the quotient? Right, negative, right? Negative. So the quotient is negative. And the quotient means divide. Okay, divide. So multiplication, product and the quotient. Multiplication and division will follow the same rule. So same sign, then positive, different sign, and negative. So let's divide these numbers. So negative, so just write 1.16 first, and then 2.9, right? So the result will be here. The result will be negative. So don't forget to put in the negative sign. And then move the decimal point. The first rule is move the decimal point to the right for a decimal point of the divisor. So we moved one place to the right. So move the decimal point of the dividend one place to the right. So this is the decimal point, right? And then put place the decimal points in the quotient part just directly above the decimal point in the dividend. All right, that's it. And then divide. So now 11 is too small to divide by 29, right? So just put 0 and then go to the next one. So 116. So how many 29 can fit into 116? Maybe 4. 4, right? 4. So 5 is too many. So if this is 30, then probably this is okay, right? So 4 times 9 is 6 and 3 up. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. Yeah, bingo. So subtract, then the remainder is 0. So this is the answer, right? This is the answer. But there is a negative sign, right? One negative, one positive. So different signs, so the result will be negative. So the answer will be negative 0.4. Make sense? Okay, when you estimate the quotients, always, okay, when you have a, okay, before you multiply or divide, always estimate the number. So estimate means, this means round to the nearest non-zero digit, first non-zero digit. So this will be round to the first non-zero digit. Okay, always. So the first number is 8.37. So 8 is the first number, first non-zero number, right? Of non-zero digit, right? So this will round to this place. So 8, one digit. So the estimate of this number will be 8 because 3 is less than 5. How about the divisor? 0.219. Okay, so round to what's the first non-zero digit? That is 2, right? 2. 10th digit. So you can round this one to the 10th digit. So check the 100th, which is 1. So this will be 0.2, right? All right, and then we can, so the quotient means divide, right? Quotient means divide. So this one divided by this one, right? This one. So this guy is become now 8 and this number became 0.2. So the result will be 8 divided by 0.2, or okay, so just divide it, then 8 times 2 is 16, right? 16. But this is 16, but since there is one decimal point, decimal place, move the decimal point. So the result must have one decimal point, one decimal place, right? Okay, so 1.6 is the result of this estimate. Oh, sorry, this is a division, right? Sorry, I'm sorry. This is division. So, not this one. So let's divide it. 8 divided by 0.2. Then move the decimal point of the divisor 1 to the right. So this one. Then 8 is 8.0, right? 8 is 8.0. So 8.0. So move this decimal point 1 to the right. And then put the decimal point in the quotient just above this point. And then divide 80 by 2, right? Divide 80 by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Then 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract. Then this is 0. And 1 0 comes down. Right? So this is equal to actually 0, right? 2 times 0 is 0, right? 0. So the answer will be 40. 40. So 80 divided by 2 is 40, right? 40. Or you can do this way. Divide means, okay, 8 divide by 0.2 is in the same as 2 over 10, right? 2 over 10. Then you have a division, then you can convert this division into multiplication and then switch these two. So there will be 10 over 2, right? 10 over 2. Then this one is same as 8 times 10 over 2. Then from here you can reduce first, or you can do this way, 80 over 2, so which is 40. You can do this way. So anyway is fine. So when you estimate a number, what do you do? First, change the number estimate to the estimate number. Okay, let's divide this number and round to the nearest tenth. Okay, nearest tenth, so we need up to 100th, right? 100th digit. Okay, so let's divide it. And then look at this. There are two negatives. Two numbers have the same sign, right? Same sign. So the result will be, okay, same sign. So the quotient will be what? Positive, right? Quotient is positive. All right. So let's divide it. So 6.94 divided by 1.5. And then move the decimal point of the divisor to the end, to the right. So we moved one place to the right. So move the dividend one place to the right. And then put the decimal point just above this one. All right, and then 69. So how many 15 can fit into 69? Maybe 4. 4, right? 4. Then 4 times 5 is 20. And then 1 times 4 is 4. So 4 plus 2 is 60. Right? And then subtract. So you have 9. And then bring these 4 down. Alright, then 94. So 15 can fit to 94 by how many? How many 15s? Maybe 6. Okay, 6. Then 5 times 6 is 30, and 1 times 6, and then plus 3 is 90, right? 90. And then subtract. Then 4. So since we have zeros, we can bring it down 0, right? 0. Because decimal point, always decimal, after the decimal, you can put, after the number in the decimal, you can put as many zeros as possible, right? All right, then 15 can fit 2, right? 2. So that is 30. The minus is 10. So that's enough, because since we want to round to the nearest tenth, this is the tenth, right? 10th. So we go up to 100th. And since 2 is less than 5, the result is what? The result is 4.6, right? And the sign is positive. The sign is positive, and the result is 4.6. And then this is not exactly equal, because we did the round, right? Round. So it is approximately equal to. So approximately equal to. Okay, let's convert this fraction to a decimal. Okay, you can actually divide this number. Okay, fraction means the numerator is the dividend, and the fraction bar is a division, and then the denominator is a divisor. So actually you can divide the numerator by the denominator so that you can convert it into a decimal. So let's try this. So 5 is divided by 11. Okay, and the decimal point is 5 means 5.000 something, right? So you can put many zeros, it still doesn't matter. It does not affect the original number. And then put the decimal point above, directly above this one. All right. Then 5 is smaller than 15, so just put 0. You cannot divide it. So now we have 50. 50 means 50. So how many 11s can fit into 50? 4, right? 4. So 11 times 4 is 44. And then subtract. Then we have 6. So bring this one down. So in 60, how many 11s can fit? 5, right? 5. Then 55. Subtract. So we have 5 and 0. Okay, still we can keep going. So how many 11s? 4, right? 4. So that is 44. And then subtract. So we have remainder 6, but since we have 0, bring it down. And then divide it. Look at this. So 60, we have a 60 here, right? 60 here. So anyway, 11 can fit 5 times, so that is 55, subtract, and 5. You know, we are keep repeating, isn't it? We are keep repeating, because from this 60, it was 4, and we have a 60, right? We have a 60 right here. So we'll keep repeating, and then the result will be 4, 5, 4, 5. Keep going, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? 4, 5. So actually the result will be 4, 5, and then 4, 5 will be repeated, 4, 5, 4, 5, and so on. So in this case, you can write something like this. If a number is repeating, in this case, 4, 5, 45 is repeating, so just put a bar above this repeating number. Okay, so the remainder will never be 0. So since the remainder will never be 0, you will keep going. So in this case, 45 is, we keep going. All right, so the result will be, you can write the result like this. So don't forget this bar. So if a number something like this, for example, let's say 0.4215215, and so these 215s keep repeating, then you can write it something like this: 0.4215, and then 215s keep repeating. So put a bar above 215. Does it make sense? Because 4 is not repeating, right? 4 is not repeating, so just leave 4, and then 215 has bar above it. Okay, for this example, let's convert a decimal to a fraction. Okay, this is how you can do it. So since we are converting a decimal to a fraction, we don't need a decimal point, right? So just remove the decimal point, and then write a fraction. And this one is, the last digit is 100th, right? 100th digit, isn't it? 100th. So this is 100th. 100th, right? So write down 57 in the numerator, and the denominator will be just 100. This 100th, so just 100. So you can just put 2 zeros, because there are 2 decimal places, so you write 2 zeros. Okay, how about this one? There will be, in this case, 7 point. This is 7 point. 7 point means 7 plus point. This means 7 plus 0.065, right? So this is equivalent to 7 and mixed number, 7 and 65 over. So there are 2 decimal places, right? So put 2 zeros, 100. And then you can reduce this fraction. So 7 and This is divisible by 5, so 13 over 20. Does it make sense? Okay, 8.6. Okay, 8.6, so you can write it 8 and mixed number. So remove the point. So the decimal places will be a fraction, 6 over. This is 10th digit, isn't it? 10th. Right, this is 10th digit. So write 10 and then reduce the fraction. 8 and 6 and 10 is divisible by 2, right? So 3 over 5. So changing, converting a decimal to a fraction is really simple. Very simple. So you have a whole number part. So whole number part will be a mixed number, right? So mixed number, whole number part, and then decimal part will be a fraction, right? So 2 decimal places, then divided, the denominator will be 100. 3 decimal places, then the denominator will be 1000, right? 1000. 1 decimal place, then the denominator is 10. All right, this time, let's find the order relation between a fraction and a decimal. So there are 2 numbers. One is fraction and decimal. So which one is greater or which one is smaller? Okay, first, you should rewrite. It's better to rewrite the fraction as a decimal so that you can compare the 2 decimals easily. So let's find the order relation between 6 over 7 and 0.855. All right, so first we need to convert this fraction to decimal. So when you rewrite it, look at this. This one has 3 decimal places, right? 3 decimal places. So we need to find up to 4 decimal places so that we can actually compare this. So we will do what? Okay, this one has 3 decimal places. So we're gonna find up to 4 decimal places. So always, once you rewrite the fraction as decimal, we will round it to 1 more place value than the given decimal. Okay. All right. So let's divide it. So 6 over 7. So let's divide 6 by 7. And then we will go up to 4 decimal places. So decimal point is here, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 0 point. So 7 goes, so 8. So we need 8 to fit into 60, right? That is 56. And then subtract 4 zeros. Okay, then we need 5, right? That is 35. Subtract. And then we have 5. So it keeps, 5 is repeating, right? 5 is repeating. And another 40, another 35. It's keep repeating, right? Keep repeating. So it'll be 5 and also 5, right? So look at this. 6 over 7 is approximately equal to 0.8555. And the second number is 0.855. So which one is larger? So this one is, actually there is, you can put 0 on the on this 4th decimal place, right? So as you see this is greater than 0, right? 0. 855, the 4th, 10th, 100th, 1000, 10,000 place value is greater than, the left, this one is 5 is greater than 0, so 6/7 is greater, right? So you can say that the fraction 6/7 is greater than the decimal point 0.855, 855 thousandths, right? Okay, place the correct symbol less than or greater than symbol between the two numbers. One is decimal, one is fraction. So let's convert 5/6, this fraction, into decimal. So the decimal has 3 digits, so we will go up to 4 digits. So 5 divided by 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's the decimal point. And then 0, 5 is less than 6, so put 0, and then 50. For 50, how many 6 can fit? 8, right? 8. So that is 48. Subtract, then 2, 0. And you can put 3, so that is 18, and minus 2, 0. This is repeating, right? Repeating. So you don't have to go further because it's, 3 is repeating. So you can write 3, right? 3, 3. So as you see this, 5/6 is equal to 0.8333, right? And the decimal point is 0.845. You can put zeros at the end. So let's compare each digit. So this is 8, right? And this is 3, and this is 4. 4 is greater than 3. So the decimal number is greater. So decimal number 0.845 is greater than the fraction. Can you see it? Okay, now let's try an application example. Okay, a 1-year subscription to a monthly magazine costs $93. So there will be 12 issues for 1 year. And the price of each issue at the newsstand is $9.80. Then how much would you save per issue by buying a year subscription rather than buying each issue at the newsstand? Okay, can you see the question? So if you buy a 1-year subscription, which is $93, then it will be much cheaper than buying each issue every month. All right, so first we need to find the subscription price per issue by dividing the cost of the subscription, the yearly subscription, $93, by the number of issues, 12, because there are 12 months. So divide the yearly subscription cost $93 by 12. So this will be the monthly subscription costs, right? And then if you buy each issue every month, then that is $9.80. So we want to subtract the monthly subscription costs, from the yearly subscription from $9.80. Okay, so let's find the monthly subscription first. Okay, so let's divide $93 by 12 issues, right? 12 months. And the decimal point is here, so put decimal point above it, and let's put 2 zeros. All right, so 12 fits 7, right? So 7 will be 84, right? 84. And then subtract. So the result is 9, and put 1 0 down. So for 90, 12 will fit 7 times again, right? So that is 84. then subtract. So we have 60, and then 5 exactly 5, right? This is 7, so that is 60, and the remainder is 0. So exactly $7.75. So this is the monthly subscription if you buy 1 year subscription, right? Okay, so that's number 1. So number 2, so this is number 1, right? This is number 1, and number 2 is subtract. So from 9.8, I will subtract the monthly costs, right? Then there will be 1.0, 2 point, right? Sorry, 2.05 dollars. So this is the amount you save every month, right? Every month. So the saving would be $2.05 per issue, right? Okay, that's it for this section. Then please also try as many exercises as possible in the textbook.